Yes, we're live, and I need you to log on to doggiedimondstv.com for all the updates about what I do. All the videos that I put out, all the content I put out directly goes on that site. I know sometimes you might not see certain things, or certain things got past you, but it's all on doggiedimondstv.com. So all you have to do is log on there, doggiedimondstv.com. And have you heard about my $200 social media promotion deal? If you didn't, I'm going to give you some details really quick. The promotion will be done on Doggie Diamonds TV and the Interlude TV accounts. That's the Insta stories, the YouTube communities, the Thread, the Facebook, and the Twitter accounts. I can promote whatever you need, but as a reminder, this is for serious inquiries only. You must be Cash App ready. I can help you get in front of over 500 to 600,000 people with a post on my various social media outlets with your product. I don't care if it's your YouTube you need promotion for, a specific video, an album, a song, your t-shirts, your candles, whatever it is that you need promotion for, I can help you. It doesn't even have to be online. It could be something offline. It could be an event that you have going on. Just hit me up at Doggie Diamonds on Instagram. Let's go. Yes. So as you in the room, make sure you hit the like button. It's very, very important. But I gotta shout out to the folks that's in the room. We got Idris the God 09 in the building. We got Wayne Crespo in the building. Curtis Penn, what's up? Chris Harlow, what's going on? I am beloved. How are you doing? Tisha, what's up? I'm here. I'm doing great. Nate Jackson, what's up? Hey, Cosmatic Gusto, what's up? Make sure you hit the like button. I try to get one in early so I could come back later on, give y'all some content to last y'all for the day. Content been a little dry, so, time to liven some stuff up, put out some originals, do some shows. I'm here to do my JOB, but all I need y'all to do is hit that like button. Cuba Ricana. All right, hold on. Let's do that over. Pamela Lee, how you doing? So let's do this. Cuba Rican. Hold on. Cuba Ricana tour. I butchered that. Peace to you. Cuba Ricana tour. I butchered that. Gav, what's up, man? Gigantic, what's up? I apologize for butchering your name, but don't forget.
Doggie Diamonds did this.
Yes, Aruba 927 is in the building. Yes. Beautifully balanced, how you doing? It's early. I know, y'all, it's early, but you know what? Sometimes we got to get up early and get to the content, Sometimes we got to get up early, get to the content, and make it happen. Hopefully everybody is good. It's Sunday. Unless you in Australia or something, it might be Monday or something like that. I don't know how that works, though. I ain't going to sit here and cap like I'm the expert on how the next day works and all that. But I'm here. I'm in the building. Truck 74080. What's up? All right, where the hell? Rashawn Greer, how you doing? Mr. Dark Horse 747, what's up? African Victory, what's up? I'm here. It's early, I know, but forgive me. I got a lot to do today. So I'll just update y'all real quick. I did go to the ER yesterday to get checked out. I was good besides like some aches and pains. I can't really turn my neck all the way to the left, but other than that, I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with. Just to update y'all on, for those who know, that I was in a little bender fender, as I heard somebody say before. But no, I got somebody ran into the back of my whip and just like jarred me. So, but I'm good though, hanging in there. We men, so sometimes we just gotta thug it out. So that's what I'm attempting to do. Didn't go to the gym yesterday. Probably not going to go for a little while. Just going to relax and get it together. Disrupting Reality NYC. What's up? So, all right. I love this. Cherie Wilson, I see you. I love this because, let me tell y'all something. There is narratives in our culture now that is being run and is rampant. And I know that I'm a part of starting this narrative along with Ali Vegas. I will say I'm a part of starting it because I had the outlet, but the person who started the narrative was Ali Vegas. Now, I will give credit where credit is due. Professor Griff touched on something, but it sounds so far-fetched that it don't sound far-fetched no more. Professor Griff did say something a long time ago about an individual he called out by name who's no longer here. That's, well, both individuals are actually now no longer living in this physical plane. But he said something, and then Ali Vegas gave you another direction of the parties. Now, when we did that in 2017, I remember people like, here we go, another artist talking about why they didn't make it. And it sounds so far-fetched because most truths sound far-fetched. Most truths sound like, that can't be possible. Like, no way that's going on. No way that happened. And when we did the interview, of course it did well. But I find that when these talks are talked about, seldom of what we did is mentioned. They'll go right to Cat Williams. They'll go right to, stuff like that. But they will never say, this. Sometimes I see people say, yo, Ali Vegas and Doggie Diamonds talked about that. Rarely though. They'll go to all types of other people. They'll act like, it's like some newfound information. But it was my biggest clip on my channel, and one of the biggest on YouTube. So Terrence Howard decided to name names and really go in a place that he didn't have to go. And I want to get into that clip, and I want to dissect what he said in the clip because it's very, very important. And although I think Terrence Howard be saying some wacky stuff sometimes, this is his experience. So it's a difference between your experience, your personal experience, and you saying, hey, the sun is not really hot. Not saying he said that, but for example, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a difference between you saying, yo, yesterday I had a banging bag of cookies, and then you saying something scientifically that's what you think, or you don't really have the theory and all that. So I hope y'all understand why I'm listening to him now, when most of the time I'll be like, that whatever. But he said something along the lines of what Ali Vegas said in 2017 that people was like, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So he was on a Patrick Bet David show, and this is what he said. So he spoke about, well, I'll let him speak for himself. Let's go.
There's a short life in
why do you think
world.
that is? What the creative side is?
Well, because losing out money, you got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually you're going to go too far,
I can't play this outright. So if people understand, when you do a reaction video, I'll give you a jewel. When you do a reaction video, you can't just play it. You have to stop it and comment. You can't just play the video. So when people be in the comments like, well, you just let it play. You can't do that. And you would know that if you had a channel and you did content, you would know that you cannot let it just play, as most people who do reaction videos don't let it play, So I do want to say, and I want y'all in the chat, so I'm not going to make it that big because I want y'all to see yourself in the chat, y'all, beautiful souls in the chat at the same time as I'm doing this video. But, basically it's about what he says, not what not seeing him. So I've said before, that's why I think a lot of people is always bent and drinking and smoking, because they did so much wild shit that they not in their right mind. And what would make you in your right mind do certain shit anyway? So you get out of your right mind because you always high and drunk. But let them continue.
Now, who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what Heath had to do in order to get to where he was at? There's
And he's talking about I believe Heath Ledger and Philip I forgot what movie he was in, but that's what he's talking about. He's talking about actors.
a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head. You know, but when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card,
What is that? What do you mean by that?
you give up your ability, your right to being a man.
So losing your man card, and I think he used that terminology opposed to saying manhood, because we know manhood, everybody thinks they got manhood. Everybody thinks they everybody has their definition of what manhood is, but your man card is a little
A
different.
man don't take it, a man gives it.
See?
So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Now I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that
And you know what's funny? Yo, I agree with that. I agree with that so much, because I guess that's why I'm not hyper masculine, but I'm a man. Like, I'm not running from no bees or, a roach or ants. I'm a man. Like, yo, it's a bee. Like, bees sting people. Ants crawl by the by the thousands, and yo, it's a rat. I don't know. Like, I was raised like this is a part of being a man. That don't mean you cannot be sad. That don't mean you can't cry when you need to. That don't mean you can't speak out as a man. But it's just certain things that we were raised. Some of us was raised like, this is manhood. You go chop down the trees. You know what I'm saying? You protect the family. You provide for the family. That's what, anyway, man.
has always been pushing through. Like, if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things, when
Right.
you give up those things,
Right.
but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it.
Now, think about this. Remember the dude, I like that. Who did that? His name was Houston. One day, he just decides to dig his own eye out. And everybody was like, what the hell he do that for? And then they asked him, and he was like, yeah, I'm doing this to stop prison. It was like, what that got to do with you on the street? You get what I'm saying? So how can you be you? How could you be in the right mind after somebody took something from you that is not meant to be given up? There's a different key word, taken. Now, the worst kind of take is coercion. It's different because see, now we're in a day and time where people just don't take something from you. They coerce you to give it to them. It's almost like you have on sneakers. We go to school together, and I say, yo, let me wear those sneakers so nobody takes those sneakers. So you think, damn, Who gonna take my sneakers? Yo, they in here. Yo, the seniors be taking sneakers, but let me wear them. They won't take them from me. Soon as you take them sneakers off your feet and give them to them, you never getting those sneakers back because you gave them up willingly, but you was coerced. Let's go.
That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
Whoa.
So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So,
because think about it. How could a real woman who have certain morals, values, and principles look at you if they know somebody had you in certain positionings that you had them? Really think about that psychologically. Somebody had you in certain positionings the way you had them.
Maintain your man card, no matter what.
Man, I mean, one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that.
Right.
You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't.
Because, respectfully, Justin Bieber been on social media tweaking. I don't follow him, but I'm seeing clips. He just sitting there wilding. Like, yo, what's wrong with fam? You get what I'm saying? You fam is wilding. So at the end of it all, the gift is not long term when the mental curse is long term. See, the gift is, yo, I got a new iPhone 16 Pro Max. But once they come out with a 17 Pro Max Plus, this is old. But what you gave up psychologically stays with you forever. So you can be promised things. You could be promised, certain, trinkets. But once they come out with something new, the trinket that they gave you, it gets old. Not only that, money. When they give you money in exchange for your man card, they always find a way to take it back. Think about the rink that's ran in the industry. Somehow, you come into the culture, they already got the jewelers lined up for you. They got the car dealers lined up for you. They got the houses, the realtors lined up for you. So the main things that you need to have your entertainer starter kit is you think you need jewelry, because that's going to impress who? Niggas. Real wealthy people don't wear jewelry. They might might have on a Rolex. Rolex be like 40,000. Don't got no diamonds in it or nothing. So here you are. You have the jewelry. They're going to put the chain on you. You don't even know you paid for it because the chain got to be recouped. So they give you the jewelry. They got a car where dealerships, they done bought at least so many cars from this dealership. They have giveaway cars sometimes. They give you a car. You don't even know that the car that you just got is not even in your name, but you driving, registration, everything, you good. But you don't even know the loan and all that was taken out by the record label, and you have to pay that back. They make sure you got somewhere to stay. They give you an event. So you say, I just signed a $1.5 million deal. You do not have access to the $1.5 million because the money goes in escrow and everything that you do gets invoiced to that account. Everything you do gets invoiced to that account. You was in the studio, y'all was in there making bangers, but no, y'all sat there and y'all smoked for 20 hours. The studio session was $200 an hour. Y'all ordered food. Y'all got your reefer connect. Y'all got the liquor store connect. Y'all got all of that. That get invoiced to that account. You don't know that though. You just like the label put me up. You got these elaborate videos you want to shoot. That get invoiced to that account. You needed to go to the titty bar. And you needed some money to pull out. They gave you money. Here, take this. Invoice to that account. You don't know all that. And the main thing they send at you, and I'm going to finish playing this, but the main thing they send at you, is the women. That's why you keep asking, yo, why do y'all keep dating the same women? Because the women are hired guns to take all these dudes' money. And I knew that personally because Kat Stacks told me that the record labels was paying her for promo. So she was helping get the artists hot by them getting caught up in scandals with her, but it was really a play. But let's continue.
Can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did.
See?
No matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever,
See?
you gave up your man card.
See?
You need therapy.
Yep.
And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs.
So off record, on record, when I was getting into what I was going through with the bozo, one of the main things I said was that the nigga need therapy. But a nigga won't say, I don't need no therapy. Know what his therapy be? Getting bent. Gave up that man card. But let's go.
End up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can...
See, now, hold on. Trade out all your integrity to do it, right? So for all the people who say, you're not this, you're not that, this person this person that, I never gave up my integrity though. I never gave up my integrity for nothing that I got or nothing that I do. I never changed who I was. The only thing I ever did was grew as a person and aged, but I grew as a person because that's what you do. But integrity is important. But let's go.
And stay in place. What benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal.
See?
And
what do I always say to y'all? MVP, morals, values, and principles. I've been saying that for how long? How long y'all before y'all have been watching me? I always say I never give up my MVP. Morals, values, and principles. So I guess when Terrence Howard and other people start saying it, it's gonna resonate. But if y'all know me, y'all know I've been saying this from day one.
We were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Wow. Hold on. You got to say that again.
Integrity. You got to go in as a
He said that aggression is necessary. Hold on,
principle.
come
And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary.
on.
You don't trade that in,
Woo.
no matter what.
Woo.
Hey, did you
Goodness
ever have
gracious.
the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the
Hell
consequences
yeah.
when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to...
That's why the title says Puffy tried to link him. So it's a double entendre if y'all don't know. Linking means get up and, you know, we meet up. So when dudes say, yo, to a female, I'm going to link you later, it's always a double entendre because it means that I'm going to link with you and then I'm going to link with you. So that's why the title is what it is. So I know pretty many people probably like, link with him. It's a double entendre.
I work on it. He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, you know, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you.
Whoa.
That's what my assistant said. I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication.
Right.
Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman.
So when Terry Crews, who played certain, you know, roles, when Terry Crews had the bikini top on around a bunch of these men, and he was, you know, flexing and they was laughing. The funny thing about that was you might think, how did you get this role? Why did you play this role as Damon in Friday? Which I can't stand that whole character. And I'm going to give you something deeper. But when he says the dude came in the party and grabbed his junk, that validate one of the things that Ali Vegas said. Not only that, it got so crazy, and y'all saw this. I'm telling you, in real time stuff be happening, and sometimes it go over your head because they duped you and tricked you into thinking that you gotta be high and drunk at all times. So now certain things that's going on, you will not even pay attention to, you will not even see because you inebriated and you're not sober. So what's going on is happening in your face and you don't even realize what's going on. So think about this, right? What had happened was, right? They had the role that Damon played in Friday. It got so bad in this culture that it was a particular point where they was playing Tupac, How Do You Want It? Great record. And women were doing the Damon dance. Y'all ain't see that? On TikTok, on Instagram, women were doing the Damon dance. That was a complete mook dance. But women were doing it. I don't know what the challenge was called or anything, but I know I kept seeing it a few times, and I'm like, yo, what is these chicks doing? Ain't that what dude did? Ain't that the part that I fast forward of the movie? Women were doing that dance to Tupac. How Do You Want It? Somehow they learned the steps and they learned the move that Damon was doing. So now, subconsciously, we're looking at women doing it now, and the women who are doing it are attractive. They got body. They bad bees. But where we saw that at was a guy who was playing a role of a mook, Terry Crews. And Friday, he did that dance to Tupac when How Do You Want It came on. So how did women sit there and learn that dance? How did women sit there and learn that dance? Friday, that's not a new movie. So who said, yo, y'all gotta learn that dance? So we sitting there looking at women dancing and we like, I love the way down. But that's the dance he did. Real dudes like me was like, yo, get this up out of here. But now they tricked us to look at women doing it. And we accepted something that we didn't accept initially. Y'all don't think something wrong with that? But continue. I know. I know. I'll just be making stuff up. Continue.
You know, when you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back.
Exactly.
It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room.
Right.
And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept.
Right.
So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way.
So I just want to say this too. I get labeled many different things because I don't accept no weird shit. And weird shit is not only what he's talking about. I don't accept weird vibes and energies because certain things, like, we don't play like I'm gonna be real with y'all, and I'm not gonna sit here. Thank you, World Traveler, for the super chat. The super chat is available for anybody else. Listen, I want y'all to understand something. One thing about me is that sometimes I know I could seem super duper, like I'm aggressive, or, you know, sometimes people say all types of things about me. That's not my responsibility. It ain't always my responsibility to respond. But one thing I don't do is I don't play with people, because where I am from, playing too much or playing with people too much can cost you your life or cost one of your loved ones their life. And I see people on the internet just playing and playing and playing and playing. And I don't accept it. I told y'all before, you are allowed to curate your story. You allowed to tell people how you want to be treated and dictate what you're going to accept. I'll get into that in a minute. I
don't compromise. I don't play gay roles.
Whoa. Hold on. See, now what he just said. Now we gotta go crazy real quick. We gotta go. What did he say? I don't compromise. I'm gonna show you why that's important. Hold on.
Kiss a man. I don't do that shit, because the man card means everything.
I had no idea we're going to go this direction with the podcast. This is absolutely. But listen, we've talked about it. We've had a lot of the guys on to talk about this stuff. Are you done with Hollywood because of this specific reason?
I'm still working. I still, I haven't made the money necessary to do all of the other stuff. So I still have to go and do the chitlin circuit. I still have to do the job that I need to. But eventually, I've done what I set out to do, which was to redefine the universe.
Now he says something. I'm done what I set out to do. People don't even know what my bucket list was. My bucket list. Do you know, in this culture, I done what I set out to do? It might be a low bar for you, but I wanted to interview Big Daddy Kane. I wanted to interview Ralph McDaniels, Pete Rock. I wanted to be on television. I wanted to build my name, my likeness, and my brand that will live forever. And I done all that. That's all I wanted from it. The only thing left for me to do is put out my own solo album. So when people will say to you, you not this, you not that, I never aspired to have some of the things that you see somebody else with that you think I should have based off of anything. I never aspired to have some of those things. I never aspired to say, yo, that's them, and that might be their thing. That might be their reality. The one thing I don't do is I can't win somebody else's race. Like, my race is my race. When I see other people do something, congratulations to you. That has nothing to do with me. That might not be what I want. But let's go. Let's end this out.
What I've set out to do, and that's why I have all the patents. Whether they evaluate it or not, that's up to them. But I've done the work and finished it. Now I can go on and do whatever else we need to do.
So reason why that's important, and y'all have to take from things like this, is because when you come into what you do, you set the trends for you. What they doing don't got nothing to do with you. You get what I'm saying? And we fall into this person got 1 million subscribers, this person got this person got that. What does that have to do with you? It's about what you want. Now, if your goal is to have 1 million, your goal is to have 50 million, your goal is that's different. You got a right to achieve that goal, but sometimes some of us don't look at things like that. But it's something that he said, and this might have went over y'all head too. So let me get to this if I could. But I hate using my keyboard during the show. I be feeling like other people. I like having everything laid out for me, ready to go. And of course, that's not what I'm looking for either. But let me show y'all something. Because y'all be, again, when you don't understand certain people, sometimes they might seem a little, So on that, what he just said was, and I want to, if I may, bring y'all back onto the screen. Wrong thing. This is my website. Wrong thing too. I'm just showing y'all all types of stuff today. This is my website, right? This is my merch. What did he say he never was? Said he never compromised. Why you think I made shirts on doggiediamondstv.com, shop.doggiediamonds? What's the name of this hoodie, which we about to leave hoodie season? Uncompromised. Why you think I did this? This ain't new. This is not new. Shop.doggiediamondstv.com. This isn't new. Why you think I made these shirts? Uncompromised. Why you think I did this? This ain't new. I been did this. Uncompromised. I've been made these tees. I've been made these long sleeve tees. Uncompromised. That's why I did that. Understand? That's why I did that. I been did this. This ain't new. This is not new. This is why I did this. I designed this like 4 or 5 years ago. Uncompromised. Because everybody can't say they're uncompromised. Everybody can't say they're uncompromised. So that's why I always tell y'all, go to my website, because when you look at stuff, you'll see this represents you. This t-shirt represents y'all, the winning team. That's what we are. Of course, the logo. Intelligence is gangster because we changing the title of what gangster is, and being intelligent is the most gangster you could be. This is stop hating. I just, like the iconography of that. But that's why I be doing what I be doing. And sometimes a lot of people be looking at me. And again, when you let people make up a narrative about you, it starts to seem like it's the truth. That's why, $35, you need to compromise that price. Before I block you, relax. $35 is not a lot of money. And it's more of supporting the individual than it is the money, because I bet the fabric ratio, that's my cousin right there. You could go and just look all that yourself. But again, what I say, make your dopeness available. I've been doing it. But again, sometimes it takes longer for people to resonate with people. Not only that, sometimes you hear other people say things and you say, see, I knew I was on point with it. Many of you, I'm telling you, it's not even really about me. Yo, y'all don't be bugging when you listen, man, when you see something and it don't resonate with you for some reason, when you see something and something bothers you about stuff, yo, you right. You're not bugging, man. I'm telling you, you're not bugging. I ain't talking about nothing spooky and mystical. I'm talking about your own scientific body. When certain things happen that bothers you, disturbs you, that don't feel right with you, you could get butterflies in your stomach, which is really your adrenaline. That's your body telling you, hold on, pay attention. I'm a little nervous about something. Let me pay extra special attention and let me get this right. That's your body telling you that. When you're around certain smells, you could get a headache, or you could get in a euphoric state. The realest shit ever is pollen. Look what the pollen do to some of y'all. So you mean to tell me somebody else's aura, somebody else's ways and actions don't affect you? If we are part of what's making up what's going on, what we giving off, the air that we breathe, you mean to tell me that we don't affect everything around us with our human mind, our human body, and how we waste stuff and how we consume stuff? We affect everything that goes on. Whether it's the weather, the ozone layer, we learn all that now. So at the end of it all, you mean to tell me when you get around somebody and something don't sit right with you? I'm gonna be real with you. I could go in a room. I promise you, I could go in a room, and it could be 400 people in the room, and something about me could zero in on one person, and I will say, I don't like that nigga. They ain't even got to say nothing. I could just tell by the look on certain people's face. I could always just tell by the aura, energy that certain people give. Or you ever have something where you say, this person don't like me. And you sitting there, you ever be doing something and there be people behind you and you turn around, everybody laughing and there's one person like this? And you be like, yo, they don't like me. Yo, most of the time you're right, but what do people do? Nah, they cool. No, yo, it was this dude in my hood. I used to say what's up to the punk. He used to ignore me. And I was like, I ain't gonna be too many what's up to this sucker. And he don't respond or walk past me like I ain't just say something. So I remember telling my cousins, I remember telling Tadpole, yo, something wrong with this dude. Like, this dude be acting funny. Tad was like, nah, he cool. I said, yo, nah, something about me, he don't like. Then come to find out later on, I was messing with this shorty. He was trying to holler at her. It always what don't come out on the walls come out on the wrench. Y'all heard that before. You get what I'm saying? But back to the Terrence Howard thing. He's going to tell certain things now, because some people say, why now? He's going to tell certain things because he's in a position where he feel like he made his money. He feel like he got other things going on. And whether he's casted again, it probably don't matter to him. You get what I'm saying? But it's always things going on that we don't see and what they do. Reason why I explained the Damon Terry Crews dance thing that people was doing is because psychologically they program you into thinking that something is cool that you know wasn't cool. But what do I always say? We could drink it, smoke it, dance to it, fuck it, or kill it. Hey, we okay with it. And that's what they do with everything. And I know the powers that be on this platform don't like me talking like this, so I ain't expecting this video to get monetized or anything like that. I actually been demonetized for talking about shit like this, but these talks are needed. These talks are needed because more and more I see people jumping on that hamster wheel of bullshit, and all they really doing is withering away. That's all they doing is withering away, and you're not getting anywhere. So when you look at it, PA PAME Enterprise, they clout chasing on Diddy. Well, that could be your perception, but if you never had any interactions with him, how could you say what somebody else is doing if you don't know their experience? Because if you have your experience on something, if you have your experience on something, I can't say you clout chasing. I can't say, yo, you doing this, that, and the third. Some people were afraid to speak. Now, when it was stuff that I deemed to be far-fetched, I've called it out. I've said, yo, nah, that's cap. But again, some people have had their experiences. Some people, you got to think about a person like Diddy. The first time I saw Diddy was backup dancer and Treat 'Em Like They Want to Be Treated video, Father MC. I don't know what year that came out, but that's the first time I saw him. It was him dancing with a guy named Fendi that became EPMD dancer. He was a backup dancer. Then the next time I heard of him was the City College thing, which was another fiasco. Look into that. That was just RIP to those people. Then the next time I heard of him was produced by Puff Daddy. And when I heard the name, I was like, who the fuck name is Puff Daddy? That was a long time ago. And some people get to run amok because they're protected. Some people get to run amok because they're protected. Because one thing that they do in all cultures, think about your household. You don't think your elders, your mother, your father, your grandparents, your aunties didn't see your brother or sister doing what they was doing? They let them do that shit sometimes. Until they get, let me give you this one. For example, you ever see a child that's acting out and you look at the parents and say, yo, come get this little. And then the parents are just sitting there not doing nothing. And you be like, yo, when you going to stop them? But then soon as the parent get embarrassed by something, then they want to step in and stop it, but they let the child run amok, and you be like, yo, ma'am, your son is this, that, and there. Oh, my son don't, They are protected. They are protected until they get embarrassed. So most of the time, you can tell auntie, yo, my cousin, this, that, and there. Oh, people always want to pick on it. Not my child. Blah, blah, blah. We see that today. That's why we don't have a community no more, because it was a particular time that if I did something, anybody who lived on my block could chastise me and then go tell my grandmother, I seen him at the store, this, that, doing this, that, and the third. Now we have a not my child thing. Oh, my child ain't do this. My child ain't doing that. Oh, y'all just picking on my child. What you just said. They clout chasing off him. So all of a sudden, everybody just picking on Puffy. All of a sudden. Nothing that he's accused of, he did. Everybody's just picking on him. No, he was able to run amok until he embarrassed some of the people that he shouldn't embarrass. Oh, you want to sue? Oh, you want to talk about, you want to make a government for black men? Oh, you want to get political? Anytime. And this is why I say some of y'all don't know enough about history. Anytime any black man made a political play that wasn't in favor of the agenda, your ass is gone. Let's look at Martin Luther King. Yeah, you could do sit-ins, you could do all that. Now you go into do the sanitation. Hold up, the sanitation strike? Hold up, you're really trying to mess with the bag now. See, that was cool. Oh, you starting to organize political parties and all that? Oh, nah, he gotta go. It was cool when he was turning the other cheek. It was cool when they was just marching. It was cool. They ain't really do nothing. Yeah, they hurt the buses, but now he going too far now. Now he got to get up out of here. Anytime you try to organize politically and you try to change something, you gotta get up out of here now. Because we gave you this, we let you do that. Because even when they do little protests and things, they still be having to get a city permit. So the city will be like, yeah, you can have your sit-in. That's cool. Y'all got about 90 minutes. Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad with the Million Youth March. King Simon is in here. They let him do it. So they said, okay, time's up. And what they did, they swooped down with helicopters. They did all types of stuff. They let them do it. Like, yeah, you can have your little talk. But then when time is up, time is up. So again, look, King Simon would know. And by the way, I'm doing King Simon's show on his channel. So you see his channel right there. Tuesday, I'll be on his channel. But think about it. They gave him to 4 p.m. 4:01, get him up out of here. Not a minute before, not a minute after. Get him up out of here. So again, the minute you try to organize politically, financially, independent of the source, that's it. That's it. Oh, you suing? And then what was the grounds that he was suing on? He started trying to use race. So it wasn't racist to target us with their liquor when they were paying you. It was only racist when you said, they're only making me go in urban communities. Millions of dollars later, you decide that. But you decide that the minute you couldn't get something you wanted, then you wanted to state what they were making you do it for, but you went in knowing that's what you was doing it for. You got to make that make sense. That's equivalent to saying, yo, man, y'all might as well come from under the bed, man. They caught us. They ain't catch us. They caught you. So, yeah, man, they was making me target y'all. And you did it? You get what I'm saying? Beautifully balanced. Thank you for your donation. You said, do you think we should fight fire with fire or go the peaceful way? Well, it depends on what you're talking about. The issue that I have with fighting fire with fire is that most fire that we need to fight with is mental. And then, we are very, very mobilized but not organized, and that's quoting the great Kwame Ture, aka Stokely Carmichael. We mobilize, like we'll go do whatever, but how we go do it is not always the correct way. How we do it is not always the correct way. So we don't have the funding, the organization, and, the other things to go with that. And then, but see, now I want to explain to you about, even with civil rights, there has never been civil rights for Black people. There has never been civil rights for Black people. It has always been all-inclusive and always benefited others as well. So when you see people, they're getting rid of the DEI, and there has never been civil rights for Black people solely. It has always been for other minority groups as well. So there's never been a time where this was for us. Never. Never. But you've been duped into thinking that they did this. Yeah, but they benefited too. Oh, and they got this and they got that. And most of the things, whether it was affirmative action, whether it was the DEI, whether it was civil rights, the people who benefited the most was always white women. It was always white women. Because they own dudes don't even like them. They never even liked their children. That's why they had to make the child labor laws, because they was in factories getting their arms cut off and shit like that. So they had to make laws to say, hey, we can't have these children working here. Even when people think Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, please do your research on that. Go read up on why he did it. He did it to save the Union. You had people saying, we're not a part of America no more. We can't do this. We're not a part of America. That's why a lot of the southern states seceded from the Union. Not even the United States. They seceded from the Union. But again, a lot of us don't understand or know history because we start making up stupid ass words like historian, all these compound non-existent words that we don't even research, because even if you research something and you read it and it's wrong, at least you read it to know that it's wrong. So now you look for the right. You don't take what he or she said. That's why we always got idols. That's why we always say, we need leaders. How? Why do you need a leader? If you're a grown ass man, who gonna lead you? If I could read the same books you read, and I could have this, because we all gonna have different understandings anyway. But if I could read the same books that you read or have access to the same information that you have, why do I need you to lead me? Lead me where? And then most of these dudes who get in leadership positions, look how wacky they get. They get drunk with the same power that they're supposed to be fighting against. They start getting all lusty. They start grifting people. That's all I see. So none of these niggas can't lead me. None of them. I ain't dressing up in no costume. I ain't putting on no funny shirts, no weird boots. I'm not running around saying the barigani. I ain't doing none of that. Straight up. Tim Mack, I appreciate you. I ain't doing none of that. I was in a lecture in Nicholas, Brooklyn, when it was downtown, right across the street from McDonald's. And it was one of your prominent lecturers that was in there saying how the black woman was God. I don't cap, so I don't gotta say I ain't lying. The black woman is God. And I was sitting there like, look at this nigga, pandering. He couldn't really break it down scientifically, but it just sounds good, because if you do this LL Cool J in consciousness, the women support you, you good. We all know that. Once you get the women, you good. We all know that. Target the women. If you target the women, you good. That's why a lot of individuals target women and they pander or they say things, because the women are going to support. They know that. So it be that LL Cool J shit. I watched the dude sit there and put on a lecture. He had a bunch of slides. So I was like, this ain't really teaching to me. This is, when I was in school, they used to have a projector that wasn't a projector. It was a slideshow. And it would go boop, and you change the next slide. When I was in PS11, right? So, dude tried to convince us black woman is God. And I promise you, when the lecture was over, he did his little meet and greets, did his pictures. And that nigga went outside and said, yo, where the hoes at? I listen. And I was just, I was befuddled. I was astonished because I was like, see, because I didn't know that. Me coming into that community, this is some of the things that me and King Simon is going to speak about as well. I didn't know the dudes talk like that. I thought they give up their niggerdom. I thought like, yo, you know, this dude is refined. This dude ain't even, you know, these dudes ain't even on. I started seeing like, yo, these niggas is heathens. They worse than rappers. That's why I stopped dealing with that community. I said, yo, if I'm going to deal with the ignorance, then I'm going to deal with the rappers. At least they don't know no better. These dudes profess to know better. They profess to have wrote books, read books, studied under the elders, and niggas say, where the hoes at? I was like, you talking my kind of language, but I'm like, yo, I was just tripping. You know, they be having on all these beads and shit, and yeah, you wear this copper because niggas be in full costume. Copper glasses and copper on their elbow and this rock right here. You know, they got all of that down pat. But dudes still be wanting box. Still gonna pander to them chicks. Nicholas Brooklyn. You shout out to Nicholas Brooklyn too. If you're ever in Brooklyn, go look up Nicholas Brooklyn. You could get a lot of oils, incense. You get some of them rocks. But what they have that I like to burn my charcoal with frankincense. They be having a flavor resin to put on your charcoal because I like to smoke my crib out. You know what I'm saying? I like to have that good, you know, that good scent in the air. So if you burn frankincense and myrrh, I like myrrh a little bit, but some myrrh could smell like a little feety. It can smell like feet sometimes, you know. So if you burning myrrh in your crib and somebody walk in their crib, they be like, damn, this nigga feet stinking here. But that's the myrrh, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really, you do myrrh, just do a little bit of the myrrh. If you're gonna burn frankincense and myrrh, there's a little bit of myrrh, but you could put the charcoal on the frankincense. But Bodywork Boxing, I appreciate you. But when you see a lot of these guys in this culture, you started seeing dudes. Because don't you be like, yo, who is this? Where they come from? They already came in the culture. They got jewelry. They already driving car. I'm going to say a name. Yo, I never knew who Tiana Taylor was. The first time I saw Tiana Taylor was on MTV, My Sweet 16. Now, that was reserved for famous people, children. I'm going to be real with you. It was reserved. I seen CeeLo, daughter on there. I seen it, but I was like, this is Tiana Taylor. And I was like, okay, who is she? It was like, oh, nah, she's on Star Trek. She signed to Pharrell and all. She ain't never put out no music with no Star Trek. But I was like, yo, who is this? Oh, she's a choreographer. I'm like, yo, she got all these accolades. I'm calling cap. And then ever since we saw her then, she just been in our face. Yeah, okay, Lambert, you okay? Yeah, okay. Anyway. I was like, who is this chick? And they'll just all of a sudden be in your face and you be wondering who they are. And then during the course of it, you start seeing what they about. Look at the people that we see. They make you love them. They make you love them without knowing them. Because the first thing you might see is you see them, you hear the music, and you say, damn, man, I love that song, man. I love when they sing that. I love when they dance to that. And then you hear them talk, and you find out what they about. And you be like, I've been supporting some weird shit. But then you seem like a hypocrite when you say, oh, I don't like them no more. Why? Because they're such and such? You're a such and such phobe. Think with the Dolce chick. Y'all always champion her. I still was like, I don't know about her. I don't care about no record that I might like. Something off. But I just be having that discernment. I be having that intuition. I be having that discernment. I be like, nah. I ain't buying it. So she doing all of this, doing all of that, and you like the music. Oh, I'm so happy for her because, again, you pander to the women. Oh, she's a black woman and we're unprotected and, you know, all that shit y'all be doing, all that black woman magic shit that is convenient. Or she's a Capricorn and you know, that shit y'all be doing, you know. And then she come out and say, the only men I like is gay men that I want to date. Or bisexual, some weird shit she said, and you like, Grr. But now you already like her. You can't unlike her now because you unlike her for all the wrong reasons. When you like, yeah, straight man is a red flag. Thank you, Nasir. You know what I'm saying? You already liked it her. You already liked it her. You can't take your like back. This ain't Facebook or YouTube. But speaking of the like, man, hit the like up too, man. We almost got a pound up in here, which is 505 for y'all don't know. Hit that like. You know what I'm saying? I need y'all to hit that like button. But this is what I'm saying. They make you like them. They market, promote them well. And then you find out what they about. And you be like, oh, shit, I ain't sign up for this. You go to church. You go to church, then you're going to hear the word of the good Lord. And he say, Usher, lock them doors. You think Usher coming out doing that, you got it bad or something. Nah, he talking about them ushers. Lock them doors. Y'all ain't send that in yet. Set them out or y'all got to get out. Or y'all can't leave. Now you can't leave. That's what I'm saying. You be liking stuff and, yeah, I love them. And it's like, you do? Okay. You sure you like them? Nah, I love them. They're beautiful. Okay. Then they come out, tell you they don't like you. And then you look crazy when you be like, nah, I don't rock with her. Why? Because such and such? Yeah, that's a good enough reason. Yup. Yeah, I don't like her. Because a straight man is a red flag. So I guess I'm the damn Turkish flag. I'm the blood flag. I'm everything because I'm a red flag. Straight up. But that's what they do. So we be in these situations where you love this actor because there is no more, you know, the word actress don't even exist no more, right? Look that up. They don't even want to be referred to as actresses. They're just actors now. See, this is how everything that you grew up learning, they're trying to make you unlearn what you learned. A lot of things that gave you your morals, they're trying to make you, nah, that ain't real. There's no more actress no more. It's just an actor now. And to me, actor has always been masculine. Actress has been feminine. Now you're just an actor. Like when you say femc, some of them get mad. I'm not a femc, I'm an MC. Well, who made the word up in the first place? We didn't make it up. You ran with that. Now you're not a femc. Leave it up to me. This new femc, because I'm going to call you what I want to call you. Ain't nothing you could do about it any old way. But I'm just saying, y'all not going to trick me into what I learned from my grandmother don't exist. If she done lived through and seen different times of the world, we ain't even really see different stuff because it's all one agenda now. At least they went through a lot of shit to get to shit. We just be seeing changes. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of it all, when you think about it, right? Look, everything that we learned don't exist no more. We just start seeing shit and this would be normal. But you ladies still going to have to explain to me why y'all was doing that Damon dance. Why y'all was doing that Damon dance from Friday. Because if he was doing that dance and he was lusting after Tupac, and we was hitting the button on that, fast forwarding that part, real dudes like me don't even like that Friday movie because Terry Crews is in there playing that role. Why did you women try to normalize a dance and make us look at you in a way like it was provocative for us, but provocative from you to us, if y'all know where that dance came from? So now if you watch Friday, you might actually sit there subconsciously, watch him playing the role of a mook, doing a dance that was normalized now. See how they fucking play games with you? See how they play games with you? You'll sit there now like it's regular degular. But real dudes always is like, yo, come on, man, with that. Just skip to the next chapter. And where did you ladies learn this dance from? Again, Friday is not a new movie. So what made y'all learn this dance? And then what make it so bad, it's not one of you doing it. It be groups of y'all. It be like 4 or 5 deep doing this dance. How y'all learn them steps? Who choreographed that? Tiana Taylor? Nah, only serious. But I'm just saying, though. Who choreographed that? But that's how they fuck with your mind. Normalize the abnormal to where you don't even know what normal is anymore. You just go with the flow. Man, ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just trying to smoke. Yeah. The dance, I'm going to say it one more time. The dance from Friday, I don't know which Friday it was, Terry Crews did a dance where he was watching Tupac video, How Do You Want It? And he was funboying out over Tupac, but he got up and did some wild ass dance. I don't know the full dance. I just seen like the first 4 or 5 seconds, but I know the role he played. I ain't watching no Big Diesel nigga dance anyway. So he did a dance in there. Now the women on TikTok in different places is doing those exact same steps. Friday After Next. Thank you, Malik B. Women are doing those exact same dance steps that he did. Oh, How Do You Want It challenge on TikTok. Coach just told y'all. But he was a mook. So I'm like, fuck y'all doing that dance for? I would have respected if the chicks got on there and did the rerun or something like that. Even though rerun, I ain't really know about rerun, but it was nothing confirmed. But I'm confused. Y'all can't learn the rerun? Learn the rerun or something like that. Jump on the ground, do the worm, do the too cool or something like that. The Scotty too hottie or something like that. Fuck y'all doing the Damon for? So when you see in Hollywood, when you see, you said you just Google it? Whatever. See, I ain't tell you to do that. Ask Sour God. I ain't tell you to do that. But when you see people and you start seeing them act different, you be like, what's wrong with them? Look at the company they keep. Look at the business they in. Look at what they represent. You become a shell of your former self. You don't even really know who you are. Wendy Williams ain't start shit. Wendy Williams started rumors. The first person who started something that I would listen to was Professor Griff. Because it goes beyond Wendy Williams, if we're going to be technical. The first person who said something about something in hip-hop was Professor Griff. I wasn't listening to no Wendy Williams. What type of dude was listening to Wendy Williams? You want to talk about that? Let's give credit where credit is due. Wendy Williams. What dude was listening to Wendy Williams? Not me. But that say a lot about you. Wasn't listening to no Wendy. Wendy Williams said. First of all, back in the days, if you gossiped in any way, dudes is like, yo, nigga gossiping. So he wasn't gonna listen to no gossip broad because before her was like, I think, Page 6 in the Post. I think Ann Landers and I think Jackie Collins and all that. Nobody was listening to no goddamn Wendy Williams. Know what I'm saying? Professor Griff been out here saying stuff. Facts. And that goes, man, that go way back. Terrence Trent D'Arby talked about it one day. Little Richard talked about it one day. Go look up Terrence Trent D'Arby, Arsenio Hall. Go look up Terrence Trent D'Arby, Arsenio Hall. Watch what he say. Well, he watched Arsenio. Remember his fingers was like, one finger was like this. He used to everything. Go, after you get off here, go look up Terrence Trent D'Arby, Arsenio Hall. Watch what he say. Watch what Little Richard say why he played that role. I don't know if he was really on that type of time, but you think they was gonna accept a black man in rock and roll that was masculine and they women gonna want him? Nah, you had to be a move. Same way they did that to Jack Tripper. Remember, Jack Tripper had to be that too for Three's Company. I know I'm a little older, so I've experienced and saw different things. Get what I'm saying? Jack Tripper couldn't live with two women because no men was allowed living with women like that at that time in that apartment. So how did Jack Tripper act every time Mr. Furley came around? So this been going on right before our eyes. Even when Tom Hanks, I forgot that show they had, Jack Tripper. See, I know I'm to be. So listen, man, let me tell you something. This is the fly thing. With age, it's supposed to come wisdom, right? Never let nobody down you or clown you. Bosom buddy. Thank you, Cheryl Knight. See, this is why I love having a certain age demographic around, because they gonna be in the know. And I'm guarantee you, you look at Cheryl Knight, you look at Big T NYC, King Simon, you look at certain people, because PA Me Enterprise, because you are of a certain age bracket, I bet you all of their morals and principles are different. Because we was raised a certain way. I'm telling you, we was raised a certain way. We come from what y'all like to say, community. Community, as Polite like to say, and even for some reason, Omar, community. We come from that. We come from go to the store with a note. The dude in the store already know, put the more reds in the bag for my grandma, respectfully. I used to be able to go to the store with a note and get my cigarette more reds. That's what she smoked. With a note. Because that's what the community was about. The community was everybody knew who I was walking to the store. Nobody wasn't going to touch me. Nobody wasn't going to take nothing from me. Nobody wasn't going to do nothing for me. Do nothing to me. Everybody watched you go to the store because you knew the person who owned the store. You know the people who worked in the store. You know the people who was on the blocks going to the store. You know the people who owned every business. That was community. So a lot of times when y'all keep saying this community thing, those communities don't exist no more. I come from when it was a community. So I was raised different. My level of understanding is different. And it was the same all over because it was just a certain moral compass that everybody had. Everybody. Being by the time the street lights come on, that's why you like the summer. That's why you like daylight saving time. You get to stay out a little bit longer. The sun don't set till like 7:50 something, 8 o'clock. Sometimes it seemed like it was like 8:30 and the sun was still out. Get what I'm saying? So that's why we like daylight saving time. Because it was light longer. You get to stay outside longer. We come from yes, thank you, no, thank you. Yes, ma'am, please, thank you. That's what I come from. So that's why when I got into what I got into with Pop the other day, even though he was in the wrong, I still was courteous to him because that's how I was raised. You don't disrespect your elders. Ever. Under any circumstance. My father, although he succumbed to a drug habit, he still was a Marine and a black man who was a truck driver who drove 18-wheelers, who taught his brother-in-laws and my neighborhood how to drive 18-wheeler tractor trailers. That's what my father did for a living. He drove trucks. And when he instilled manhood when he taught me and showed me what manhood was by being an example of that, he taught me, I don't ever want to hear you or hear about you arguing or talking back to an adult. If adults say something to you that you don't like, you just tell them, I'm going to go tell my father, and you come get me. That's what type of time he was on. But you better not ever talk back to no adult, raise your voice, or argue with no adult. You a child. You a child, and you are to stay in the child's place. You don't let nobody touch you nowhere you don't want to be touched. You don't let nobody do anything to you, but you come tell me. And that's how I was raised. So now we don't even curse in front of my grandmother, and I'm a whole grown-ass man. Don't nobody in my family curse in front of my grandmother. That's how we was raised. Because if you don't respect your own matriarch of your family, who do you respect? I won't even curse in front of your mother. But it was the upbringing. But when the upbringing changed, that made room for all this shit. Because it was a particular time if somebody did something to you, you was like, nah, this ain't right. Now it's become normalized. It's become normalized. That's why so much shit is happening. It became normalized. It was a time where, you know, you had your little isolated incidents. You had secrets. You had that. All that exists. I'm not going to act like that didn't exist. You had people in the hood that was considered to be Chesters. If you don't know what a Chester is, don't type it in the chat because I don't want to get flagged. But it was Chesters. You had different people. You had dudes who liked young girls. But then some of them would used to get whipped out too. Because I'm telling you, I know I say this a lot. Some of y'all might look at me like I'm crazy. But a lot of things occur in this day and time because people don't be getting blood put in their mouth no more. I'm just, you know, y'all can say what y'all want about me. I don't care. But when you knew the consequence of your actions, you second thought your actions. You ain't talk to people a certain way. They might put blood in your mouth. You didn't talk to people a certain way. You didn't troll people. You didn't type stuff to people. You didn't SMD them. You didn't talk about their kids, their mama. They was going to put blood in your mouth. And not only did an individual put blood in your mouth, it might have been individuals. When that got removed, when dudes was like, yo, all else fails, I'm calling the cops on these niggas. That changed everything. See, it used to be a consequence. It used to be accountability that you had to take. So you spoke a certain way. You spoke to men like men. You didn't raise your voice. You didn't yell. Because the first thing that all conflicts start off of is what? Tone. most conflicts don't start off of the disagreement. It's the tone of the disagreement. Yo, who you talking to like that? You could be saying the realest, yo, who you talking to like that? Yo, why you yelling? Yo, if you spoke to somebody a certain way and moved your hands a certain way, like, yo, why you keep moving your hands? Because moving your hands a certain way, you could have japped them, pow. And if you don't know where jap come from, jap means to sneak somebody. That comes from Pearl Harbor, what the Japanese did to Pearl Harbor. So japping somebody was sneaking them. But used to japping it, pow, he didn't even see it. You know what I'm saying? I used to be called jap somebody. He's sitting there talking, not paying attention. You talking, moving your hands, wow, you just catch him. It's when you jap somebody. So jap come from Pearl Harbor, if you ever want to know where that came from. Because the Japanese sneak attack Pearl Harbor, so called jap. So you moving your hands too much. Dudes used to be like, yo, why you moving your hands? Stop moving your hands. You talk to me without moving your hands. But now this computer age, this digital age, we starting to see everything because there's no consequence. What you gonna do, block somebody? And then nowadays you block somebody and then they wanna make a post out of, he blocked me and all. Just think about where we at. So when you see Terrence Howard say some of these things, that's because a lot of things that wasn't normal became normalized. And if you frowned upon it, you was the outcast. Why you think I'm the outcast in so much? I don't just talk about it. I'm really about what I talk about. You know how tough it is for some of these dudes to maintain who they are if everything is changing around you? Because it seemed like this person is getting to it. This person got this, but I always look at how. And whatever they feel like they got to do to get it based off they need to get what they getting. See, some dudes, we be like, yo, he sold his soul. Guess what? That nigga ain't had no soul. Some people don't got no soul, man. So it don't bother me. That's why I always tell people, I'm gonna tie something in for y'all and maybe you'll understand me better. That's why I tell people get therapy. That's why I don't like trauma bonding with people. That's why I don't like rest in peace posts. And I don't like, yeah, man, I don't like that because when you start developing a defeated mentality, you start justifying doing shit that you got no business doing because you already got the excuse. You got the excuse laid out. Yeah, that's because, man, my mother died when I was 2. So I waited till I was like 47 and I did this, man. So you waited to do that 45 years? Yeah, man, because you know you could have got help for what was bothering you. But in our community, we try to smoke it, drink it, fuck it, dance to it, or kill it away. Listen to the song Cranes by Solange. I tried to smoke it away. I tried to sex it away. That shit was real. That's why I like that song. I don't particularly like her, but I like that song because that's real. But you have people who, through trauma, look at Facebook. Big ass obituary card. Look at how people don't even know people, but they can't wait to find a picture of them and put on their Instagram. Rest in peace to this person. We used to just say, yo, damn, that's messed up. Rest in peace. Now we using our social media. You don't find nothing wrong that you see more RIPs and you see congratulations? How many congratulations do you see on social media that don't involve the benefit of the person who's doing the congratulating? How many times do you see somebody just say, oh, wow, that's dope, congratulations? Only time you see congratulations, only time you see sharing is when it's trauma or dudes be trying to somehow, some way weasel their way into the situation. You don't see congratulations. You don't see people just making posts. yo, respect to this person. I do, though. Look at my Instagram. I take my Instagram and I think about my heroes and my sheroes and I say, damn, I used to love this record, man. I should just salute them publicly. Forget those DMs. Forget those, yo, you the truth. Nah, you say that out loud. People die from the lack of appreciation. Appreciation gives you purpose. If nobody needs you, then you feel unwanted. People die from the lack of appreciation. If everything you did, if nobody supports your efforts, if you didn't feel appreciated, what is your purpose for living? If you live and you live to help and you live to do for other people and it's not appreciated, what is your purpose? Because we don't live in this world alone. So if you cook food and you say this is the best tasting food and nobody said, damn, that shit's slamming. What is the purpose? It makes you an introvert, makes you a loner, which is another mental illness. But all that shit get normalized. I don't rock with nobody, YOLO, and all these stupid ass sayings and slogans that ain't gonna get you nowhere. Dig you in a deeper hole, and the deeper hole, deeper hole, deeper hole, then you can't get out. So you don't rock with nobody, right? You don't got no family, you ain't got no friends, you ain't got nobody. So you don't plan on living long. Because when you get a certain age where you're unable to take care of yourself, who gonna help you? Because you ain't rock with nobody. You ain't got no relationship, you ain't got no friendship, you ain't got no family, you ain't got no camaraderie. Who gonna take care of you? That's what you did to yourself. Thinking it was cool, you wanted to put it on social media. I don't rock with nobody. I don't do this. I don't care about nobody. I've always been stabbed in my back. Shit happens. But when people already got an excuse for why they gonna do shit, that's why I don't like excuses. I got a billion excuses. I just don't use them. I could run every excuse that I see people doing. I can run all of those. I got every excuse that you see people using. I got them too. And I still get my ass up and do what I need to do to keep all of this going. I still get up. I was up at 11 o'clock today. Set the timer last night. Yo, I'm going to go live at 11. Hit them with a couple of shows. Boom. That's it. All with a cranky ass neck from getting rocked the other day. You know what I'm saying? But so what? Who cares? Who cares that a car ran into the back of my whip and my neck? Who cares? I still got to do this. I still got to work. I still got to do this. I could be on here with a brace. I could get all of these sad. I don't like that sad shit. We gonna be sad, but we gonna be all right too. We got to get up out of that. I don't like when people be all sad. I don't like that. Think about when I was a little boy. I was little. I fell every day of my life. Dead ass serious. I always fell. I don't know why. I always fell. When a man said to me, get up, you gonna be okay? I felt better. If a woman looked at me, I automatically start crying. Automatically start crying. But when a man, my uncle said, yo, get up. Come on, man, get up. You all right. Wipe yourself off. Here, do this. Wipe yourself off. Because I knew I was going to fall tomorrow. Seriously, I was going to fall an hour from now. As long as I didn't hurt myself, yo, get up, man. You fall 10 times, you get up 11. You understand what I'm saying? I did hit my head a few times, and guess who other head I hit? Yours. More than a few times. And I ain't ashamed to say it. But guess what, though? I'm free. I'm free. And a lot of y'all don't have freedom because you put yourself in the prison of your bullshit. You did that. I don't put myself in prisons. That's what you fight to get out of. That's what adulthood is about. Looking at something and saying, nah, that ain't right. I ain't fucking with that. Oh, that's what they doing? I ain't doing that. That's how they got it? Nah, I don't want it like that. That ain't right. But yeah, it is 12:37. If you're listening to this on the playback on the Apple Podcast, Spotify, this is what we do on YouTube daily. Before I go, I need y'all to get them likes up. I need y'all to just make it a habit to hit the like button. The like button helps me, and it also shows YouTube that people are engaged, people want this, and they should promote it throughout YouTube. So a lot of times when y'all say, I didn't get the notification, I didn't get this, sometimes they don't send out the notifications because they think you don't care. So that's what the like button is for. That's what the comments is for. Even if you in the chat, just go back into the comment on the video. Even if you say support, no matter what it is, the comments, the engagement is important, and the shares are very, very important. So if you have a Facebook, if you have a X, whatever you have, do it like you share them people you don't know. Share my shit like you share them people you don't know. And it's very, very important to engage in the videos because that's what YouTube like. They like engagement. They like comments. They like likes. They like shares. They will boost me in these algorithms that y'all, the word y'all love. That's how you get boosted because a lot of times you're not. They be like, oh, nobody care. Nobody even like that video. So let's go to another video. Let's go to one of these other frivolous videos that ain't even got nothing to do with our community. It got all the likes. I seen pimple pop videos with more likes than me. Like, niggas rather watch pimples, more than any of us or any of these vultures that's in our that create content that can't talk like this. You know why? Because they not from the cloth and they ain't one of us. Many of them can't talk like this because they ain't from the cloth and they ain't one of us. So they'll give you the other to take you from the cloth that you from and to remind you, yo, keep trying to be like us. So you'll follow them. Tim Mack, I appreciate you. You'll follow them. Every time I get on, I'm going to remind you who you are. Who you are. I'm going to remind you where you come from, who you are, what you about, what you was put here for, what your purpose is. Even throughout all the dialogue, even all the things we watch and do. No, I'm going to tell you who you are. They can't ever tell you who you are because the minute you realize who you are, then they gonna know you know who they ain't.